The truth is, most men are lost. And the big question here is, are you? You know? For many years, I've been trying to discover my purpose, my why, like what I'm supposed to be doing. And I've been hopping from place to place. Like, there's some people in my space that I grew up with and they're just so grounded. They know exactly what they want to do. And they just be doing it. Like, and it just came so natural. But for me, it was never as easy as that, you know? I had to move all around the place. Sometimes I was following other people's purpose, thinking that is my purpose. And then later on down the line, I realized it wasn't my purpose. But I learned so much from being in people's space and around people's energy, you know? Don't get me wrong, like sometimes you're lost, but you're guided with someone on their journey in their direction. And it's not always a bad thing. Because that could give you some sort of it can keep you grounded on a certain level, but because it's not your purpose, you're not going to be rooted into the ground. You're not going to be fully immersed in that the same way that they are. But in order to find your why, what you need to be doing, and to feel like, okay, cool, I've discovered what I would like to be doing, you need to fully become immersed in something that you enjoy doing. And sometimes it does take roaming around, you know? It does take roaming around. And a lot of the times people don't want to put in that effort to roam around. So they settle for what's there in front of their face and think that I'm doing what I like to do. That's why you feel lost. You got to keep moving, and then eventually you'll find it. But hey, let's get into this. What's going on? My name is Christopher Daniels and I help people to overcome self-sabotage and live a purpose-driven life. And I do that both through mindset coaching and content creation. Yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about why so many men feel lost, you know? And before I even get into it, literally, if you're new here, I just want to say welcome to you. And if you're back here again, welcome back, you know? You know how it goes already. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Literally, yeah? So the thing is, I've been speaking about this, I mentioned it earlier, like me, again, in my journey, there was so many times where I was looking for answers, looking for a way to feel complete, like a way to feel like I belong. And if I'm speaking about it from now, right now, I feel more grounded than I've felt in a very long time, you know, because I'm connected to what I like to do and I'm actually having that impact on people that I always wish that I could have, you know, and that's amazing. So I'm living through my purpose. And now for me, it's all about continuing through that journey. And don't get me wrong, even though I'm here, I haven't got all the answers, but I can compare it to where I was before and I can compare it to where I see so many other men, you know. And just through being a coach, I speak with a lot of men and I understand like where they are on their journey and where they want to get to. And sometimes like people can't see where they want to get to because they've never thought about it. You know, they've never actually thought about where they want to get to. They just live in a way where it's kind of safe, it's mechanical, it's easy, limited thinking, you know. But when you actually think, like, ask yourself questions like what is it that I want to create? What is it that what sort of impact do I want to have on the world? Like, start asking yourself these questions. Like, what is it that I would like to have written on my gravestone, you know? Like, what sort of person? Like, who do you want people to think about you when you're gone? Like, what sort of legacy do you want to leave behind? When you start thinking ahead, like so far ahead, and you start asking yourself these questions, it makes it easier to know like the sort of path that you want to go down, the sort of route that you want to take. And then automatically, your mind just starts thinking, okay, cool. What do I need to do to leave this legacy behind? Yeah? You've completely just switched it up, like, because you're thinking ahead now. You're not just thinking about what you're doing in this present moment. You're thinking, what am I going to be doing later down the line, you know? This is a completely different way of thinking. And I'm telling you, when you start to channel your energy into thinking like that, your whole reality begins to shift, you know? But the thing is, sometimes we do not ask ourselves these questions. And if we don't ask ourselves these questions, then we can't get answers to them. That's the reality. But how do we find the right questions to ask? Yeah. That's another thing. And you just gotta go into spaces where you begin challenging yourself. Because to be honest, if you don't know what you want to do, you're not tapped into that, you haven't connected with that, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Like if you feel lost, that's totally fine. That's okay, you know? There's been times in my journey, like I mentioned before, I was following other people's purpose because I was lost. And I needed to do that because some of the skills that I've picked up from following other people's purpose, I picked up discipline, I picked up good time management, I picked up it's good teamwork skills and so on and so forth, you know? Like there's many things. Even like I used to play basketball, yeah? Basketball, that's not my really, I enjoyed it, right? But that wasn't my purpose. There was people that were grounded into that sport and they love it. They're still playing it up until now. But for me, I feel like I followed on that path, on that journey, that person's journey. One of my close friends, like he's really grounded in that. That wasn't my journey, but at the same time, because I followed on that path, I learned what I needed to learn, and I'm on my own path, you know. And there's always been things that I've always tapped into on my own, like that's creative stuff. Like I've always dabbled into like acting. I love to act, and when I was playing basketball, I was always like dipping in and out of like acting classes, doing shows here and there. And I haven't done shows for a very long time, but that was what I was doing at the time. So it always showed me, like, even though I'm tapped into theirs, there's elements of mine that keep coming in and out, you know? I tapped into that. I did a bit of music videos. That was my thing as well. Like, there's always been my elements are coming in and out. So sometimes the questions you got to ask yourself is what do you enjoy doing? What are things that you naturally gravitate towards? When you start answering these questions, then you're really going to start tapping into who you are. And you're not going to feel lost anymore. You get me? You're going to feel connected to who you are at the root. And that's what happened for me. And I'm 100% sure that can happen for you. You just need to ask yourself the right questions and start moving into that direction that your questions are guiding you to, you know? Literally, don't stress, don't panic. Just start asking yourself the right questions and you'll be where you need to be sooner than you believe, yeah? If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future videos. And having said that, I will see you again shortly, yeah? Blessings.